This is Robert Berger at Berger Performance Parts, and this is the best way to rebuild your stock Subaru STI turbo. Whether you had a engine bearing failure on your car, or your turbo went out, or something that you need to rebuild your turbo, this is the not cheapest, but the best for the price way that I have found to rebuild this. And it's really easy also. You will need some tools, you will need your old turbo, and you will also need a mallet turbo core assembly, basically. This is for a VF39, VF43, VF48. I will link where I bought these down below. They are from the UK, so they take a little bit to get here, but any quality VF39 core assembly will work. It does not have to be mallet. I just use them because I have used them in the past and I've had good luck with them. First, let's remove all the extra things on this: coolant lines, oil drain, and the wastegate actuator. This little clip on the wastegate just comes off with a little screwdriver. Good thing I'm talking to the camera. Bada bing, bada boom. V-band clamp from the cartridge to the exhaust housing. Now clean up your housings. I use a wire brush to get this old RTV off of here, and then I just spray all these out, clean all this up, and get them ready for the new center cartridge. Once you've got everything thoroughly cleaned, you can see this dowel right here on the exhaust housing, and that is going to line up with our new turbo cartridge. And so I always put the exhaust housing on first so that I know it's lined up correctly, and then I can clock this correctly when I put it on there, which I will show you. So these mallet cartridges should come with a gasket and new crush washers for the coolant hoses and the oil feed. They also come with this syringe of oil to prime the turbo. They also come with this little paperwork. New cartridge. Don't worry, this moving is normal. Clean this out, blow it out, get all the little particles of foam out, and there's that hole for that dowel that will line up right in there. And you should make sure this is all clean of rust, because that will cause this to not go all the way into place. This should somewhat easily go right into place. I'll usually do now is I'll set this up on the edge of the table, because that is most of the way in, but not completely all the way in. And so I'll set it like this and give it a little to seat it all the way together. Just like that. You can take your clamp, snug that up good. Now we clean off where the RTV is going on this turbo. And we are going to go in with some red RTV, a little beater on the edge. And then you are going to want to either look up a picture or find a picture of your turbo previously to figure out which way this needs to be clocked. I've got a couple of example turbos here, but best to take a picture of yours beforehand so you don't have fitment issues when trying to reinstall this. I always take a glove and press it into the outer section of that. Just like that. Now we clean off this surface of the turbo. Once again, have a picture of a turbo or another turbo ready to show you how this needs to be clocked. It is a pretty good rule of thumb that this surface is pretty similar to this surface. So I usually line it up about like that. If anything, I'll go a little higher. You can always set it like that. Say right there. It's pretty solid. You're gonna take some of your bolts. Once you've got the correct orientation, just snug up a couple of the bolts. That's loosening. Make sure it's not moving your housing when you're tightening like it is mine. So I snug 2 of them up, and you want to go around and make sure you got a little bit of RTV that squeezed out all the way around like this one did. And now we can throw on the rest of this stuff. Don't over tighten these, because you can easily strip out the holes that go into the turbo just because it's little screws with aluminum threads. Snug them up and then a little extra. At this stage, once everything's tightened, I would make sure your turbo spins without hitting anything. This one is good to go. This little E-clip is what I call it. Sometimes they will, like this one did. This one will just fall off now after removing it. And so I'll get it back on there, and I'll take some needle nose like this and pinch that back together so that won't come off. This one's still coming off. So if it's still coming off, you can do this with it off the turbo. Pinch it together a little bit. It's gonna make it more difficult to go on, but it will stay together now, just like that. Now, the larger copper washers that this kit comes with are for the banjo bolts for the coolant lines. Make sure you get your old O-rings off, or copper rings, before you put the new ones on, because these like to stay on there. New ring, new crush washer. Straight part of this elbow goes on top of the turbo. The other one sneaks in down here for the bottom. Make sure you don't drop either. Snug these up nice. And once you get these snug, a buddy taught me this with being new crush washers. So snug them up and then give them a little tap on each one. Usually they will snug up more, just a little bit, just like that. And that makes it so that it seats that washer nice so that they won't leak. Okay, turbo oil drain, make sure you pull this off first, like that. Now with these gaskets, my complaint is that the hole on the gasket is smaller than the hole on the fitting. And so I will cut this hole to match that one because I don't think that's how that should be. Razor blade, and I just cut this hole to match the hole on the drain, like that. New gasket, this pipe does have an angle this way versus that way, and the angle always goes towards the front of the turbo. The remaining two crush washers are for when you install your turbo oil drain, which I will do when I install this on the car. And there we have our finished turbo. Let the RTV dry for as long as this recommends. I don't know what the exact time is, but it should say on the back of your gasket maker, let's see, 24 hours to fully cure. So 24 hours, then you could run this turbo. But in my opinion, the best way to fix these things, Mallet has good stuff. If you can find another company with good turbo cartridges, it should be the exact same. But if you have a bearing failure on your car, or the turbo goes out, metal goes to the oil, anything like that, you're gonna wanna rebuild your turbo. If you have a reputable turbo shop near you, that also works, but I don't. And so I just like to do this. I can do it myself. It's easy. I know these things are good. I've ran them for a while. And now I've got a fresh turbo ready to go in this 2008 STI. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped you out. Check out some of our other videos if you enjoy Subaru content.